Are we just rebranding paranormal romance as romantasy the way that back in like 2023 when horror got really popular, lots of thriller books were remarketed as horror? Because I wrote a book like over a decade ago, back when it was like Twilight and Shiver and paranormal romance was like the hot thing. And I'm finally releasing that series, okay? But when I say paranormal romance, that book goes nowhere. That post goes nowhere. There's like nobody out in the void. It's crickets. Like there's people who love paranormal romance and they will tell you what a paranormal romance is. But I'm kind of wondering, for the sake of marketing, if people are calling a paranormal romance a romantasy, because that term is poppin'. That is where people are at. And I see a lot of vampire books marked as romantasy. But I'm not coming on here with nothing. I did actually look these two terms up just to kind of see what was happening. In a post by USA Today called Supernatural Swoon: Why a Paranormal Romance Book May Be Your Next Great Read, written in July 2024. So this is current, it's within the last year. By this definition, paranormal romance has otherworldly characters in a recognizable world. This suggests like our contemporary world. And then romantasy is a fully fantastical world. I think this is a little contradictory because I think that there are a lot of contemporary settings that are listed as romantasy and have things like werewolves and witches and dragons and stuff. So, like, I don't know. Then there is this article on Writer's Digest that says, what is romantasy anyway? And when MK Love asked social media to tell us what is it anyway, she got all sorts of answers. Like, it is equally romance and fantasy. It is a romance book with a fantasy backdrop. That's absolutely opposite of this one. It is when the plot would fall apart without the romance. It is a fantasy plot with a central romance. That sounds a lot like things I've read about what paranormal romance is. And then it's just fantasy with spicy scenes, was absolutely not, because there are romantasies that don't have that, and both are okay. That USA Today article says that recent releases are blurring the line between paranormal romance and romantasy because they have monsters and dragons typically set in strictly fantasy novels, but play in contemporary romance trope. Now, that said tropes, not settings, but still. And then I look at my own book, and the thing is that it has always been meant to be romantic, but it is really slow burn. Especially this new version of my book where they don't even, I don't know if I can spoil it. Like, there's a lot of yearning and tension and stuff, and then you don't get a payoff until the end. Because I intend this to be a series, and we are going on a journey, okay? And I do think that despite the slow burn, the romance is central to the plot. She wouldn't be where she is at, and the things that are happening to her wouldn't be happening to her if that person was not in the story, right? So by that definition, I think it's definitely a romance, but it doesn't tell me if it's paranormal romance or if it's romantasy, or if I'm allowed to call it either one, okay? Because like from a marketing standpoint, I want to call it romantasy. I think it fits romantasy, but it's not. No, I don't know, because there's no clear definition. I'm probably going to call it both, guys, because like literally I don't know. And I know people are going to be mad and have opinions about that. But people are generally mad and have opinions about a lot of things. So